And I just, because I do it, it's foreign to me to hear people speak how I'm not going to check in, but then that's the ignorant dude, because that's the dude who wants the internet fame. Any real dude that's ever really been in LA, he checked in. Me, myself, I check in.
Yeah.
And in certain places, I'm going to tell a dude that they check in with me, no, I don't think you should go there now.
Yeah.
I mean, he might want to go to the other one.
Yeah.
And I don't think nobody is safe. I know dudes right now from LA who are actual gang members who have been robbed for their jewelry, who real killers. Like, who really real killers. Like, if he ever find out who did that, he gonna knock everybody down. You understand what I'm saying? You just call slipping. And that's how it is. You know what I mean?
Something you said that was going around where you basically said that he was even extorting the food trucks outside of Crenshaw High.
That's what I said. I'm like, what? I got a call and they were like, yeah, you know, he was extorting the food vendors. I'm like, what?
Oh, so somebody just told you that? It wasn't like something you saw firsthand?
No, it was someone that was a part of, I guess, some type of event. And now, mind you, I don't be at the events at Crenshaw, so I really just listen to what people tell me. But they were like, he was extorting us. He was extorting the food vendors and was making us pay all our money. I'm like, and y'all did it?
That's wild.
I'm like, wow.
That's crazy.
It was a situation where I had a friend, they were doing a back to school drive.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to extort and bully them because they were giving things away for kids in his neighborhood and he didn't approve it. And it's just like, what?
For years, defendant Henley extorted victim 1, a music and club promoter who transitioned into a partnership with the unlicensed marijuana dispensary located in Los Angeles for up to $25,000 per month in extortion fees until victim 1 started to ignore defendant Henley's calls. On July 5th, 2021, when victim 1 had been ignoring defendant Henley's calls demanding extortion payments, defendant Robinson, Big U Enterprise member and self-proclaimed Rolling 60s member Tremaine Ashley Williams, aka Loose Cannon, and approximately 9 other individuals, all acting at defendant Henley's direction, traveled to the dispensary and committed a robbery. Victim 1's real name is Dale Morrison, aka Monster Man. I'm pretty sure y'all done heard his name before. This is the dude that Big U was extorting so much that he ran out of money and had to start getting the extortion payments directly from the feds because he was already cooperating because he had been caught a previous case. Well, he's speaking out in an interview, speaking about Big U, speaking about his situation, and speaking about his thoughts around the whole situation, man. Check this out.
I do want to say that I do have a story.
So this is the guy who supposedly Big U was extorting. Sometimes he was paying Big U $2,000 a month. Sometimes it was more than that. Sometimes it was $10,000. It was, you know, he supposedly was involved with a dispensary that Big U said for this to happen, but I guess it was an illegal dispensary, but Big U says for you to keep doing this, you need to, you know, pay me. One time they didn't pay him, and Big U sent his homies over there to go take his shit, and then invited him to the spot and said, yo, this is how you robbed yourself, basically. You know what I mean? I think that's the story.
Have a side. You know, people are paying people $200, $300 to tell them things about me. Not a lot of this stuff is true, and I can't wait to tell my side. But as far as Loose Cannon go, I don't think he works for the police. I don't think he's telling. I think he's lost in the sauce, kind of. I think he wants the celebrity. He wants the clout and stuff like that. I do think he might end up telling because of what Big U has done to him, too.
He already took the proffer agreement. He already took a proffer. I just put it up there.
Oh, okay.
So he's definitely telling.
Yeah.
I just put the proffer.
You know, a lot of times, right? You know, a reflection of what happens to you through life is a reflection of what you've done through life. And I think that, you know, when you look at, you know, even the Nipsey Hussle situation and, you know, what Nip and, you know, Big Man went through, it's like we're not dealing with one of the best peoples in the world. We're dealing with, you know, a lot of these people are pro-black only when it matters. Even one day I seen Loose Cannon on the show talking about, oh, yeah, you know, y'all niggas like Willie Lynch, y'all want me to get locked up and this and then that. But then, you know what I'm saying, you just can jump Marciano, bro. 60 years old, you took him off his clothes, and like, you know, it's only pro-black sometimes. They're only community people sometimes, and nobody really knows these people. When you look at Nip contract, 10 years for 30%, you know that shit's fucking demonic, right? When a motherfucker doing something good in the hood and you want to chase him out and belittle him and shit like that, like, you know the type of person that, you know, you kind of deal with. You know, some people tell me like, yo, D, keep your head up. That shit was gonna happen, you know, and no matter what. And you know, I just hate the fact that, you know, I'm a part of it, or I'm a part of it. But you know, why was I, you know, even in that situation? Even after the feds had got me, you know,
The people already know what it is, though, Dale. You feel what I'm saying? So you know.
I don't think they know. They know what they're being told, and then here, remember, there's a complaint, and then there's an indictment. And then there's something stronger than even that, right? So a lot of complaints and indictments are being pieced together to do and say certain things, and you know what I'm, you know, and then, you know, like I do respect this shit, you know, and I do understand, like, you know, the business part of it. I do know that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of this stuff is for, and like I said, I watch you, and I know the man that hooked us up. There's nobody more pro-black than this guy, you know what I'm saying, brother, sister type thing, and you know, I respect him a lot. But just afford me some time to think, and maybe we can have a pre-discussion about, you know, the agenda here. What are we trying to do? Because, you know, everything should have a purpose to it, you know, and a purpose to uplift our people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, even when I think about Big U, and I think about Loose Cannon, and, you know, there's anger, and there's animosity, and there's hurt, and there's all of this shit involved in it. You know what I mean? I still know that as black people, we're still fucking products of our environment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think for me to win, you got to lose. And, you know, that's a big problem. And that's what my brand, Everybody Eats, was always about. Like, you know, we can all kind of survive the way you got 50 jewelers on the same block, but they can all get along. You know what I'm saying? It's not really dog eat dog. But some people are from a world where it's just dog eat dog, you know what I mean? And that's part of my agenda, that it ain't fucking got to be like that. You know what I'm saying? That a black man ain't got to step on another black man. The old niggas ain't got to step on the young niggas, like, you know, to where they can't breathe. Like, this shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a lot that goes on. I think the biggest thing for me about how I ended up where I ended up is because it's like someone trying to break you, and then it works. I don't know if your girl, you know, if you ever had a girlfriend or somebody that tried to get you mad and then it actually works. And then, you know, someone's trying to break you, and then I was fucking broken. And I'm not, you know, I don't have the fire that I used to have, the ambition that I used to have. I don't have any of that thing, right? So yeah, man. I mean, there's people offering me $5,000, $10,000. I haven't really taken any of them. And you've already gotten, you know, because, you know, I can't work no more. I can't be outside no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very tricky for me. It's very fucked up. For me, it's fucked up for a lot of people. But
the people look at it like, you know, what Big U did was foul. You know what I'm saying? Even though, you know, we know that you did what you did, and it's foul because you was out there.
I could say, yeah, it's foul. It sucks, and it's a lot of foul things. And you know, I'm not the only one that foul things happen to.
Now, supposedly this guy like got caught up on some shit. Which, by the way, yo, this Rico case, the only reason I even still cover it's the only thing that keeps on giving. These niggas. So we have the witnesses talking, the people charged who talking. The people who talking the least are the prosecutors and the people who are the feds. The defendants, the witnesses, and everybody else is running their mouth.
And you know, yeah, and then you know, as we go through what happened, you know, there's a lot of people that this shit's happened to all across, I think, and you know, for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, looking at this shit like, well, yeah, man, we'll talk.
That was victim number one, Dale Morrison, the person that's cooperating against Big U because Big U was extorting him, man. Listen, but he is not a stranger to law enforcement, man. He done had his run-ins in the past, man. In 2014, he got locked up for pimping, pandering, and running a sex trafficking ring out there in California, man. Victim.
Okay, all right. So now we get word from this guy who was cooperating, or he was victim one in this whole Big U situation. And Look like, he says he's scared a little bit about, like, his life, that somebody might do something, but he's still willing to talk on an interview. Now, this is the next thing. I ain't gonna lie, this is crazy. So apparently, Loose Cannon and Brick Baby are cellmates. This is. I ain't gonna lie, man. These guys are something else. Hold on.
So we woke up to news that all right. So recently, everybody.
Loose Cannon, that's
Yeah.
my boy.
Let-
You know Loose Cannon, me and him above heads. I know you seen that shit with the J.
This call will
Damn,
be
that's they
recorded
cell?
and subject to monitoring at any.
All right, let me just go to No Jump Early. So apparently, two of the defendants, Loose Cannon and Brick Baby, who were beefing while they were on the streets, are cellmates. I don't know how this happens. And by the way, they both called in from jail to let people know that they are indeed cellmates. Listen to this. Sorry.
At any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this, you may begin speaking now.
Hello?
Yeah, what's up with the wife? How you doing?
Oh my God, it's so good to finally hear your voice. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Where are
You won't
you?
believe. I'm in LA. You won't believe who's my celly.
Who?
Brick Baby.
What?
Yeah, this shit crazy.
That is insane. Was that like pre-planned? Like what the heck?
But man,
Oh my gosh. So Brick Baby is your cellmate.
I'll be my celly.
No. That is
Yeah, man.
wild.
He was like, thank you for the t-shirts and everything like that, and um
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5.
Hold on. I gotta go to the next slide.
Oh yeah.
posted. He was like, you so real for that, and then wipe the money for it.
Well, I definitely, I would hope, they would do the same and if the table was turned. So I definitely, if I had the outsource to be able to help his wife while going through this, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I already sent her first payment last week from the sales we made last week, and she was so happy. But I'm happy that he heard about it. That's good. I'm gonna keep pushing so that we can keep making some money that way. It gives a little more ease, even for at least for these phone calls. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't cheap.
No, Brick, hold on. She
Hmm.
want to talk to you. What up, sis?
Hey, Brick, how you doing?
Thank you for everything you're doing. I heard you keeping the name strong, keeping everybody's name
Listen,
strong.
I'm trying. I'm doing whatever I can with the power that I have.
We
Oh yeah.
posted. He was like, you so real for that, and then wipe the money for it. Yes, yes. We all
Mm-hmm.
appreciate.
That's what's up. How you holding up?
Oh man, we coolin'. My boy here now, so we
Yo,
getting
is
down to the
that
wire.
crazy? You guys are cellmates? What? How in
I
the
was gonna.
world did
I
that
just look
happen?
when I figured out the jail. I'm like, bro, finna come. I'm like, soon as he come, I'm about to bring him because you gotta come here. So I'm like, yeah, he about to come right here with us.
That's crazy. So you
Yeah,
helped set
man.
that up?
Yeah, well, as soon as he came in, shit, you already know it ain't no other way he gonna go, and we can't be talking in front of all these people. So I was just like, come on, you already
Man,
know.
that's what's up. Okay.
Everything good out there with the baby and stuff.
He's here. He's teething, so I'm going through that phase right now where he's a little fussy, but I'm bearing with it. I'm bearing with
Yeah,
it.
here go, here go. Yes, yes, we all
Mm-hmm.
appreciate.
That's what's up. How you holding up?
Oh man, we coolin', bro, right here.
All right. All right. Good to hear from you. Keep your head up.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Well, shoot. Y'all about to pick up where y'all left off. Y'all gonna be holding podcasts in the cell?
Man, this shit crazy, but I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to see if you could cash app
so I can get some food. You know,
Yeah,
I
of
don't eat good.
course. Of course. Who just give me a cash app and I'll send it over so that you can get some outside food because I know I'm sure that food over there is trash.
It's terrible. But yeah,
Mm.
no, I love definitely
Hello.
love you.
I love you too.
It's where I'm at, I'm always gonna be good
Yeah.
everywhere I go.
I'm just happy that, you're okay because my stomach was churning all night when I didn't hear from you, baby.
Bro, right here.
All right. All right. Good to hear from you. Keep your head up. You don't even understand. I was a little nervous, even though I know this is part of the process, it just not hearing from you for all them hours really, really made me stressful.
Yeah, no, that shit crazy.
And then I was trying to add money to your books because, I saw that you were in the LA system, but it still was processing. So I couldn't even like add money or nothing. So I'm just happy you found a way to
This
reach
call
me
is from a
through
federal prison.
someone else's phone line. When did they say you're going to be fully activated so that I can do that?
I don't know, but that's why I'm gonna have you on Cash App. Up.
Okay.
And then I need you to get on with the lawyer. What I told you to send him.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I already talked to the lawyer. He's supposed to come see you, and I think you're supposed to have court tomorrow, so he'll come check you in court tomorrow. You don't even understand. I was a little nervous, even though I know this is part of the part too, you know. Now that you're in LA, because everybody in the world thinking you got a public defender.
Oh, that's goofy as shit. They know how much money we get.
Man, it's just silly. You just had someone at the detention thing. That was it. But your lawyer is in LA. Like I don't know why people just be doing that.
That's goofy.
But anyways, I love you so
I
much. I'm
love you.
so glad I
I
heard
love
from
you.
you. I know this call is gonna cut off soon, so I just
Yeah.
want to make sure you hear
All right.
that or too. You know, now that you're in LA.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Yo, Chad, I done told y'all, man, this the whole content of Rico. I've never seen this shit before in my life, man. They celebrating that brick and yo, the feds taking a page out of Adam 22 book, nigga. Nigga, this is a Saturday show. Oh, you got a Tuesday show, the Wednesday show, and the Adam and Wax show? Well, here's a Saturday show. The feds done put these two yapping ass niggas in a podcast, and they probably have 35 listening devices, 59 cameras. Nigga, they probably got more. Nigga, bruh, I guarantee Adam don't got more goddamn cameras on these podcast sets than what they got in this cell. Here's the funny thing. With all due respect to these guys, when Loose Cannon can't help himself but self-snitch. By the way, if y'all looking for the snitches in these cases, Loose Cannon, he telling, but only on himself. Like, he can't help but incriminate himself. Will he incriminate anybody else? I don't know, but he'll do it to himself, okay? Then Brick Baby, all you gotta do is challenge his masculinity, bro. I think it's like Napoleon syndrome, bro. He'll tell you put kill squad in the streets. He'll tell you that, you know what I mean? Yo, y'all say I'm getting stabbed in here. We doing the stabbings. Like, he ain't say that directly. He just said, yo, we do shit to people. You're like, oh, hell nah. The feds realize, yo, we know y'all not at no jumper no more, but we about to create no jumper in the jails. And they're over here thinking it's a coincidence. This is crazy. Now, apparently, again, I keep telling you this is a content Rico. Brick Baby called in himself too. He had to, put his 2 cents in about what's going on with the brick in jail. Let's see if we can find that. Shit, sorry. Apparently, he put up his call to. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, the feds think these niggas is stupid as shit, bro. You know why I think the feds think that, bro? Because, dog, my nigga, I'm not a guy who's been in the. Sorry, I haven't been through some of these situations like these guys have. But they're using rudimentary plays to try to get these guys. Like, bro, we're going to put you in the cell with the guy you were arguing with for months saying y'all were going to kill each other, and y'all only got fake cool like 2 days before you got arrested. And we don't care about what y'all say in the cell. What? Anyway, this was Brick Baby calling from jail today. Hear this.
Hey, what's the big old deal, man? It's the Brick, not the trick. Check it in, man. Live from 5 South NBC, man. The main line, nigga, we not going high power. We not getting up out the way for nobody, man. You dig? Hey, I see everybody playing with my name and making a joke out my name. I see that it's a time.
Yo, Brick, we fuck with you, but who gives a damn if they making fun of your name? Worry about the prosecutor making fun of your name. The judge not giving you a bond is making fun of your name. Who gives a damn about a podcaster making fun of your name? Bruv, this is not content. Anyway, you take a piss.
People's life as a joke out there. I see everybody keep on criticizing and capitalizing off a nigga downfall, man. You already know I won't be gone for that long, so watch your mouth, man. You know what I mean? I'll be back. I ain't even entertaining all that bickering and babbling y'all doing. Y'all go get your money. I've been paying bills since I was on the streets. I see that the numbers up since y'all got something to talk about. Like I said, there's too many Indians and not enough chiefs out there, man. You know what I mean? You got to stick your chest out for your community, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their hand out when it's time to eat, man. You know what I mean? What happened to going to go kill the animal and bringing it back, man, yourself, man? You know what I'm saying? If you don't kill shit, you don't eat shit, man, out there, man. You know what I'm saying? When you a real chief, man. They say they got people running behind narratives that I don't even want to even get to going back and forth, but they running behind these narratives and trying to make me out to be, you know what I mean, whatever it is, man. I'm solid as it could be, man. I don't even know if it's something more solid than a rock, but listen, man. I damn near like water, though. You talk about solid, like I'm everywhere. I'm a form anywhere I'm at. I'm gonna adapt to the territory. You know what I'm saying? Just like a water, you can put me in the glass, you can put me on the floor. I'm still gonna formate, come out right, man. You understand me? Hey, a motherfucker can say what he want about the Brick, man, but this what you never gonna see. You never gonna see a motherfucker make a statement or cop out, brother. You get what I'm saying? It's never gonna happen that way. You know what I mean? I'm not finna
Why is he in jail so concerned about what we think he finna do? Bro, we only care if he gonna beat the case.
Ain't no media and do all that from back here, man. It's all about my family at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
That's not true. If it was all about your family, you would not tell your family to record this call and put it online. It's about your online perception. Brick, again, I think I have a decent relationship with you. I have nothing against you. You're in federal custody. Yo, I'm going to be honest with you. Brick Baby and Loose Cannon act like they're on a vacation. Nigga, they treating the shit like Turks. I swear. I swear they're treating Dre like Turks. Yeah, we here chilling, man. Yo, we politicking, man. We up in the cell together, man. Yo, y'all niggas stop playing with my names. I'm allowed to be back soon, nigga. Bro, they're treating this shit like a vacation. Maybe they just that real of a niggas, but I think they're really treating this at like is 0% that they might lose 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Maybe go away for life. They're not treated like that. I've never seen some shit like this before, Chad. How the hell is this looking like a goddamn vacation like these niggas is in Bali, Bora Bora, the Maldives? What the hell's going on?
It's another day down, another dollar miss, you know what I'm saying? And it's another day closer to my...
This call is from a federal prison.
But y'all failed it.
Every time I hear that thing right there, like, it just feels wrong that you're hearing it online. Unless that person is already convicted and doing, like, say, an interview. These guys are not convicted yet, haven't gone to trial, and you keep hearing them on a recorded line that the feds are going to review.
See, it's another 4, 5 children, probably like 10 children scorned by the infrastructure that we pledge allegiance to, though. You know what I mean? I don't just take care of my family. I don't just take care of the 4 kids that I put out here. I take care of 4 kids, 4 women, you know what I mean, and 18 nieces and all that, man. They all mine. You understand me? When we outside, they all mine, man. They gotta let me back, Jack. There's niggas out here that's out here making millions of dollars that don't even know what their kid's favorite food is, man. And they got me locked down like I'm somebody, man. You understand me? I ain't the man that they want, man. You did? But I ain't gonna be here all long, you know what I'm saying, mad and all that, man. Y'all calm down on that police shit out there, man. You know what I mean? They got me already. You got what you want. You know what I mean? Hey, man, my best friend, Wack, man, what up, dog? I heard you out there, nigga, living your bestest life, man. You already know, but you know.
Was that being real or sarcastic?
We'll be back real soon, man. Y'all tap in. Y'all keep tapping into that no jumper. Y'all tap into Poetic Flacco, man. And every time that he throw y'all call every flag on the play when he posted, man. I promise you. You already know. April 1st, man. April Fools to you, man. But you understand me? Yesterday was the day we lost a legend, man. Forever will I be grateful for everything that he ever taught me. You know what I mean? Long live Hustle, man, the great. You know what I mean? Happy birthday to Kid Ink. Happy birthday to my auntie, man. Nigga, happy birthday to my son. Once again, they just did it up in Vegas, man. Son, do your thing. Son, do your thing. You know what I mean? The dopest kid in Vegas right now, man. You know what I mean? He got an attitude problem like me, though, man. Don't approach him. You better approach him with caution, man. But, yeah. This shit right here, it was hard. I couldn't even really post nothing yesterday about my boy. I just sat back and was thinking, man, but you already know. Dean gonna carry the torch for you. Brick gonna carry the torch for you. Sam gonna carry the torch for you. Hoggy gonna carry all money in. Nigga Saucer gonna carry the torch for you. The whole world gonna carry the torch for you, gang. This shit gonna never stop. Yeah, man. And we live right here, man, coming from NDC.
This call is from a federal prison.
Damn.
We ain't fresh out the feds, we fresh in the feds, man. It's the brick, not the trick, man. Don't be late. This another one, nothing like the other one of your brother's son, nephew. You understand me? You know what I'm saying? Click it, man. You know what I'm saying? And up a ticket, man. You already know, man. Y'all keep these views up and running, man. I'll be back soon. This shit ain't nothing, man. They still gotta let me free. I ain't did nothing.
Damn.
Closer to my...
Yeah, that shit's sad, chat. Wow. Crazy. Hey, I did have an interesting conversation today. And I wanna get y'all opinion on this. I wanna get y'all opinion, chat. Because you know, well, let me just lay it out and then you tell me. So Wack called me today, and Wack was extremely irate. He called me today. And usually me and Wack personal conversations I don't even bring on here, but I do want to bring it on here because I understand the overall context of what he was saying to me. Wack called me and he was just like, I'm going to be honest with you. I've been a brother to you. You've been a brother to me. And I said, yeah, of course. That's been our relationship for a long time. And he said, I don't like the narrative you're running on me. And he then said, you know, because at first I'm confused. I'm like, narrative, I'm running on him. He said, listen, you know, you got people saying things about me that is, number one, not true, but they're using things that you've said to kind of piggyback off. And he's like, if you're my brother, why would you do that? And let me tell you, if you've ever had a conversation with Wack when he's upset, you barely get a word in. You barely get a word in. And I definitely wanted to clear something up if it was ever put out that so let me give you the backdrop. And I said the exact same thing to Wack. Again, it was like an hour conversation. I barely got a word in. I promise you, I barely got a word in. Okay, Wack. I've never seen Wack this upset. But Wack was blaming me for this narrative about him, which I ain't gonna lie. I was like Googling while I'm on the phone with him because I'm like, what narrative niggas got going on? And apparently people are saying A, B, C, and D. But I think he's blamed me for it spurring from the conversation we had. And I want to be very transparent. The conversation we had where after I heard that Adam got not pulled in by the feds, but they went to his house and said, what up? And they said, yo, could we get this, whatever? I said, yo, I'm going to be honest with you. I wouldn't be surprised if the police try to talk to Wack. That's pretty much all I said. And I kind of, and I'm going to tell you why. And I was trust me, I'm on the phone with Wack. I'm trying to get these thoughts. I'm trying to tell him, bro, I wouldn't, if I really thought like, you're whatever or whatever, I'm not bringing it online. I'm just thinking out loud like I think about out loud with every case. We just talked about the Diddy case. And I'm like, you know what? Yo, I'm expecting to hear some more co-conspirators. If we don't see co-conspirators, they might be testifying against it. I'm just thinking out loud. I'm using my educated brain, right? We cover a lot of cases. A lot of times we could make reasonable deductions. Now, for me, when I said that was a reasonable deduction. Now, I'm going to also give you some more details. If you guys watch the Vlad podcast, I said a little bit more about it. I never really ever meant to talk about this because I really don't think this is content. I do not think the feds' indictments, RICO, is content. Okay? This is something that I would probably never mention. But I did use my experience to kind of as a foundation to say, I understand how they probably came at Adam and what they're going to want. Yeah, I remember I broke this whole down. I said, this is what they're going to want from Adam. Again, I've never fully told my situation because to me, nothing to do with police in that serious sense, even if I'm an innocent civilian, it's not content. Okay? Especially when you have friends that might be indicted or are indicted. Now, let me get to the, so I'm going to jump in between where I got my thoughts from, but also how Wack is seeing it. Apparently, and I did my Googles and research today. People have taken the conversation that I had with Wack and they made it to a point where they're like, by the way, yes, Wack came across very angry, whatever, but you got to realize Wack's a street dude. He don't like nobody mentioning his name with police. That's a fact. He don't. I'm a civilian. Also, I've had experience where they did try to come talk to me. Or they try to come get some shit from me, right? When I had the conversation with Wack multiple times on stream, him coming off irate and seemingly defensive, and I remember Adam 22 when they did the Adam and Wack show, he brought it up there, but then it spurred a narrative that means Wack is guilty, right, of either a few things. The police came and talked to him, and he's now spooked because he thinks he's going to get indicted. Number two, and I think this is the most prevalent narrative, that he's the police, right? Because if they don't come to talk to you, that means you're working with them. And what other narratives? Number three is that he's like, I don't know. I think it's a combination of number one and number two, right? And I think those narratives have been running wild. And I think those narratives, again, Wack does care about his integrity, even though, of course, everybody do their content, blah, blah, blah. but he cares about his integrity, he's not fond of negative, or not necessarily negative. He's not fond of a untrue narrative that goes against him and his integrity. So while we were talking today, because I was saying to him, I'm like, Wack, I never said you're the police. I've also never said, without a doubt, because he was like, yo, do you think the police came and talked to me? We can make a bet. He basically denied it. And I even told him, I said, Wack, you know when I asked you that question on live, all you have to do is just say, no, they never came. You got so defensive, people made up, like, it's like you're watching two people talk, you're like, oh no, that triggered him. I know what's up with that. If that triggered him, that means there's smoke. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Do you get what I'm saying? So, after the conversation, and by the way, I understand narratives because narratives has been, I've been on the worst sides of sometimes narratives that I tried to clear up 20 million times, but nobody gave a fuck. And of course, I've been on sometimes the good side of narratives, but whatever. But like, you usually care about the bad. Now, I only say that to say this. After the call with Wack today, and I keep telling you, not everything is content, right? And I wasn't going to, I could have sat on the phone with Wack and be like, yo, Wack, I thought, yo, you do content on everybody else when they're doing, when these cases happen. Why can't niggas ask you that question for, no, I get it. As I said, he was extremely, I've never seen Wack that upset, honestly, truth be told. And as someone who I consider as a brother, and someone who I think has been very benevolent to me in all types of ways, it is, I even told him, I said, no, I'll make sure I clear, I'm gonna clear it up whenever I get on live stream, that whatever conversation me and you had on here, yes, I'm using my deduction to say I think this could have happened, but it's not to help whatever people are trying to make out about Wack being the police, Wack being, what else have you said? Oh, Wack is talking to none of that shit. So, and then the last thing I took away from that conversation is that there does become a time, and you know, again, I barely got a word in with Wack about this. Remember, you just going off. There does become a time where you become too close to a particular situation to do what you normally do about everything else. And I think, if you ask me, just being honest, I think that's kind of where Wack is with this situation. Not that he has nothing to do with it. Not that, you know, he's about to be indicted. Not that he's a fucking, what do you call it again? Not that he's working with the police or whatever niggas be trying to say. But it's the same reason why if y'all ask me like, yo, Act, well, you talk about other people's cases, why don't you talk about this? I would love to talk about it. It's an ongoing court case that I have a lawyer for. As soon as it's over, I'll talk about it all day, all night. And that's kind of what I felt getting off the phone with him today. I said, I can't tell him what to do. But I do think that this Big U situation, loose cannon, brick baby, what Wack is the most popular person out of everybody who just got locked up. A lot of people are looking at it from a content space. Like, they're taking little things. Like, I think Wack said he ran with Big U, but he clarified to me today on the phone. He said, bro, me and Big U have never done anything remotely close to anything that he's been accused of. Never. It's night and day. Anything he's been accused of, I've never been accused of by people who know me. Not internet sleuths, not these other people. I've never been accused of. And That's what I took away from it. I said, I'm like, I think these narratives are almost inevitable because he's too close to the situation. He's the biggest name. Like, do you want to talk? I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn about Big U. I only knew about Big U. Well, I knew about him, but because Wack was beefing with the nigga or talking about him for 2-3 years, that's why I cared about him. So now we really only still care about Big U when there is a Wack element. This is why people, when the indictment came out, they went to some supposed confrontation that he had with Wack. You want to see that. And that's why I say I think Wack probably, I can't tell him what to do, recuse himself from especially all of these updates about this story. Because again, to clarify, I don't think Wack the police. I asked the question. I'll give you a little bit more details about it because I did do it on the pod today. That dropped today with me and Vlad. The police came to me. Okay, I'll tell you what happened. I'm at Complex, and the guys downstairs, we have a front desk, whatever. I usually hang out a couple minutes late sometimes, but not all the time because we have a car that picks us up exactly after the show is done. We can leave exactly then. Our HR guy at Complex comes to me and says, "Hey, could I talk to you for a minute?" I said, "What's up?" He said, "Let me talk to you in one of these like breakout private rooms." I said, "Okay, all right, cool." I go in there and he says, "Ak, is everything good?" I said, "Yeah, what's up? What's going on?" He said, "The feds are downstairs for you." I'm at Complex. I'm like, first of all, how does Complex know my schedule like this? It's like, no, not how did the feds know my damn schedule like this? Anyway, they said, "What do you want us to do?" We got them down. We got the feds downstairs. I'm going to say the guy's name. Basically, almost there to tell me, if needed, we could get you out of this goddamn building without bringing you downstairs. Okay? If we need to. I'm telling them, listen, I have no idea why the feds would want to speak to me. I don't do anything that's wrong. I don't commit criminal activities. I've not been associated with no criminal activities. That's just what it is. They said, "Well, what do you want us to do?" I said, "Well, did they say what they want?" He said, "They want to speak to you." I said, "Okay, that's fine." They said, "Listen, this is what we're going to do. You stay here. We're going to make sure they don't have," which, again, Complex has no fucking clue. "We're going to make sure that it's not like an arrest warrant, nothing like that. If they just want to speak to you, we'll bring them up here and put y'all in some room and y'all could, even though they said, 'Do you need a lawyer?' Because this is the feds." By the way, I'm telling you everything that happened to me. That's why when I'm commenting on Adam, and even when I'm bringing up Wack, because I look at Wack as a media personality. All that gangster stuff, that's cool. But Wack is on Clubhouse every day doing media. That's not gangster work. That's media work. So I'm using my example. The feds come up. We go in this room. It's an all-glass room. I'm sitting there with 3 dudes. And I don't know what this is about. They said, "Hey, listen, we believe," they said, "Listen, just to let you know," first thing that comes out of their mouth, "Just to let you know, you're not in trouble. You're not in trouble. But we do believe you have some things that we need." Now, they then said, "We're going to be in contact, but this is our way to let you know, to engage you that whatever. I am shitting bricks. I have no idea what's going on. Okay? By the way, at this time, 6ix9ine is locked up. So that indictment came down. 6ix9ine is already locked up. This is probably a month after. I'm going to be honest. It's like a month after. I get a lawyer. My lawyer hits them up and said, "Hey, I represent Akademiks. There's no more need for you guys to reach out to him. Reach out to me. I represent Akademiks." They said, Well, we don't have a subpoena for him, but we do believe he's in control of some material items to our investigation. It was then communicated because they went back and forth a bit because I hired the lawyer to figure out what do they want. They're not saying they're arresting me. They're not saying that I have anything. They're actually even leading with, even though that's a typical cop thing, you did nothing wrong. Why are they trying to talk to me? My lawyer comes back and says, hey, Ak, did you post a video on Instagram this date, blah, 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 and he describes it. I'm like, well, I post mad videos. The next thing they do, because he's communicating with the feds via, I don't know, email, I don't know what the fuck they do. He says, do you know this video? And he sends me a video. It's a download of my Instagram post. Essentially, to make a long story short, they wanted a video they already had. They got it from Instagram. Their whole thing was two reasons, now I've realized. They wanted it without my watermark on it. And then they wanted to know if there was a longer version of the video. Okay? So they wanted the original video, which also to me was a little bit ironic and kind of, because at that point, I knew they had all of 6ix9ine's phones. They said 6ix9ine sent me a video. That's what happened. They say 6ix9ine sent you a video. You posted it. We want the original video. And I'm like, well, you have his phone. Anyway, it's like chain of custody, all type of bullshit. Anyway, that happens. My lawyer says, listen, this is how it's going to go. And you tell me how you want to play it. They're operating nice right now. They don't have to. The next step after this is for them to say, we are going to subpoena you because there was a superseding indictment that came down later. There's an ongoing grand jury. We're going to go put you on the stand and grill you about whatever and still get the video from you. Now, you pick your poison. You can play hardball with us, delay us a little bit. You already posted a video. We just want it without your watermark. Whatever you got sent, give us that. Or else you're going to be in our grand jury on the fucking stand. We'll cook up the indictment for that. Not indictment, I mean subpoena. Ultimately, my lawyer talked to them, because here's the thing I 100% wanted. I said, listen, I don't want to be no parts in this case. I don't know nothing about no crime that 6ix9ine or anybody else ever did. I don't want to testify versus nobody. I don't want me being on the stand, even though I know number one is the grand jury, which is supposed to be secret. Number two, I don't want to be testifying to, like, by the way, at that point, I was around 6ix9ine, Shotty, and them niggas good amount. I don't want to be testifying about nothing. I don't want to be in this case. Whatever crimes you said these guys committed, go deal with them over there. So my lawyer basically tells him, listen, we're not trying to play hardball, but we have no interest of being in, we have no interest of cooperating in the sense of you're going to hold this grand jury, trying to subpoena me to a grand jury. Okay? They said, well, we could negotiate. And this is exactly how the feds go, bro. I'm telling you. They said, listen, if you come down and answer a few questions with your lawyer, just give us the video. We'll guarantee that you won't be anywhere in the grand jury and subsequently the case. Because again, I did not want to be up in that motherfucker. I don't care what nigga. I ain't do no crime, but still, I don't want. Bruh, this is what I'm thinking. Gang members is killing people too. Boy, was I wrong. Like, yo, if you testify like at all, like you're dead. Even though, again, I don't know nothing about nobody. So anyway, the video we got, they got the video. So they got the original video for me. It was the exact video that was posted. It just didn't have my watermark. And I go down there to the federal building with my lawyer. And that's what I was trying to tell. I remember I was talking to Flacco on the phone. This is where the spook shit comes. That's especially when, I don't know how criminals do crime. They really don't give a fuck. Well, they doing podcasts up in jail, so they happy with jail. I don't want to be up in jail. Nigga, you know how I got spooked by the feds? Not only that, they showed up, this and so whatever, and they're like, yo, we're just gonna ask you some questions. Your lawyer's here. They had me sign some shit. They were like, yo, listen, this is basically the agreement. You're never gonna be in this case. Okay. They're like, just to let you know. And it's funny because the cop that got deputized, he's like, he brought up something like by my college. He was just like, you're Rutgers, man, huh? And I was like, what the fuck? How you know this shit, nigga? It's like, this is why the feds spooked me, my nigga. They knew everything about me. They just wanted some confirmations. That's it. Like, they knew everything. They didn't ask questions. They were just basically, so like, what did they say to me? They were like, yeah, the first time you and 6ix9ine hung out was this date. And I was like, how the fuck y'all know the exact date? Nigga, they was watching this nigga for so long. They knew every single time I hung out with him. They knew everything. So the question they asked me, they was like, you ever seen 6ix9ine shoot a gun? And I'm like, what the fuck? No. So it was basically like, they asked me like about 7 questions. It was like, nah, I never seen that. You ever seen Shotty with a gun? Nope. You seen 6ix9ine with a gun? Nope. You seen this guy with a gun? Nope. What happened at the studio when y'all hung out? Nigga, we hung out, shit, made a song, left. Right before they like rap, they said, we knew all that. And I was like, what the fuck? This shit just spooked me out because it's like, they did all that to basically said, give us a video we already got. Okay. We're going to ask you some questions, but we're telling you the answers already. And I was just like, yo, you don't want to fuck with the feds, bro. You don't want to fuck with them, bro. So anyway, I say that to say, and by the way, nothing ever came out of that. But I just show you how the feds could spook anybody who's around individuals getting indicted. So when I brought up the thing with Wack, I'm not looking at Wack as this gangster, bro. I'm looking at Wack as this media guy. And I get it. He might not have a video or a recording or whatever, but you never know. Sometimes the police might be like, yo, if Wack be on Clubhouse, whether he's lying or not, or just capping, or Wack be saying he got A, B, C, and D. Yo, bro, you want me to play the content? Like, you never know. So I anticipated that the feds, if they did that to me, now granted, that's Southern District of New York. They play no games. They play no fucking games, right? I don't know who the attorney, the U.S. attorney is in Cali, and I know that's in the Cali district. I don't know how tough they are, but if they went at Adam, right? And I guarantee they didn't hit Adam they probably even hit him with a subpoena, bro. They probably just told him, unless you want us to, they're gonna tell you the hardball, easy ball shit, bro. You know we could go, nigga, they know he's fucking bitches up in the back of that shit at that fucking no jumper spot. Nigga, unless you want us to comb through your building with a fine tooth comb, nigga, you gonna give us that cease and desist, right? Of course he's gonna give it up. Of course. No, you got it, bro. The hell? I ain't got nothing to do with nothing anyway. They probably asked him a couple questions. He don't know nothing. Adam don't know nothing now. Let me tell you this. Only the worst criminal. Let me tell you this, no matter what y'all say about 6ix9ine, 6ix9ine he definitely incriminated himself a lot. 6ix9ine was like the Superman version of Loose Cannon. But I'll definitely say this. One thing he was smart about is that whenever it was time to do crime, be like, all right, Ack, I'm going to catch you. It's time to go shoot niggas. Nah, he never said that. Well, I'm saying, like, he never did nothing around. Never. He never did nothing around me. He never planned nothing around me. And he understood the assignment like this is Ack, square guy. Let's not do nothing that might spook him or show him our hands that if he ever get pulled in, he's over here saying some shit we don't want him to say. Now, granted, ultimately 6ix9ine ended up being that person. But I give him credit for that. So, going back to the WAC situation. That was my outlook then. Still is my outlook now. And when WAC called me, I ain't gonna lie, I was like, you know, and honestly, I think maybe his clubhouse room or whoever, like, he was describing to me because, you know, at first I was like, yo, WAC, what are you talking about? But once he said narrative and I started looking at it, I understand how narratives get formed. Like, because I said, WAC, I never called you the police. Never called you the police. But I also understand, you know, when Adam 22 play dumb, but he know what's going on. I understand narrative, so I'm like, yo, I get it. Like, niggas is taking our conversation about this Big U shit and some of the genuine questions I have to you as whatever narrative they want to fill. And I just want to definitely clear up that was not my intention in terms of casting any aspersion on WAC, even though I think the audience is going to do it regardless. I'm going to be honest with you. And that's why I say I think WAC's a little too close to that situation. He's the most popular name in it. Like, bro, at the end of the day, like, we just listened to some nigga named Del Morrison or whatever. Like, nobody knows this guy. Like, we found about Loose Cannon through WAC. Like, Brick Baby, you know, with all due respect to him, he wasn't pulling that much views on No Jumper. Like, he was more interested when he was going at WAC. So, like, of course, a narrative is going to get spawned to include WAC because he's the most popular common denominator among all these guys. So what that narrative is going to make sense? Is WAC next to be indicted? Yeah. That's going to be a narrative. Yo, maybe WAC is the person who set this up. That's going to be the narrative. But just to be clear, man, you know, after speaking to WAC, and I understand narratives because I've been through myself, I don't think that's fair. And to help clarify, I talked to him today, bro. He says police never talked to him. And I actually believe him. Yo, they came to me for a video. They came to a video that was already posted. They came to Adam for a cease and desist that they mentioned, that Big U sent. It is what it is. So, I don't know. Somebody said call WAC. I'll call WAC. Do you think he's up? Let me call WAC. Let me see. If he's up, it'll be good. I ain't hear him that upset ever, bro. And it really, it was more upset that I think he was saying to me, this. I said this before I call him. He was just saying, yo, Ack, anytime things about you occur and people could take the narrative, because a lot of people don't like you, just like a lot of people don't like me. This is him saying to me. And they could try to use a narrative and run in a negative way. I always steer the narrative back to the positive. But it feels like you're allowing a narrative to run on me, and they're acting like, you know, I think he said like people were saying like I exposed them or something. Like, what the fuck? How I exposed them? What I exposed? But I understand narratives. Let me try to call WAC. I don't know if he was. He's in LA though. So it is. Yo, it's 2:26. Jesus Christ! I gotta start streaming earlier.
Your call has been forwarded.
All right. No. I want to also call him and let him get his shit off too, because again, with me explaining it, I'm also like, I might not be giving him his just due because I like my whole demeanor was, yo, Wack, I never said these things about you. Like whatever y'all say, whatever the narrative is right now about Wack, I've never said it about him. But I understand how people might take those narratives from our conversation. You get what I'm saying? So, I think it's only fair. If he's around, I'll give him a call. If he's around. Does that make sense, chat? And also, another thing too, bro, I never wanted to, I don't want to be the guy who people are like, because I think, I don't know who, but I think people were saying to Wack like, yo, man, that nigga, yo, you sure act your friend? That nigga snaking you right now. That's not the case. I'm asking him the same way I just told you the story. I don't think it's a big, and again, I tried to tell him that too, but he wasn't here. I said, I just don't think it's a big deal because I don't think Wack is doing anything nefarious. I think Wack is doing content, selling diapers. But I do understand the feds come calling or feds will try to come holler at somebody just because they feel you're close to somebody else. You feel what I'm saying? And again, maybe they happen, but I was going off of my situation. That's why I commented on Adam. And yeah. So please, if y'all out there in YouTube land, man, could y'all please stop trolling Wack? Because y'all are making it seem like I'm in cahoots with y'all narratives, and that's not true. Yeah, no, and yeah, but again, with narratives too, like, it's not about necessarily what I say. It's like, y'all know how narratives is. You know how narratives is. So what I think is,
So Big U, you shouldn't be surprised with anything with Big U. Big U is basically an A1 extorter. Like, he is in the Cali culture with the checking in where you're gonna get robbed or hurt. It's basically like how mobs used to have business pay them for protection from them, which made no sense. Yeah, it's crazy, bro. If you're a regular civilian, honestly, like, bro, just don't go to the hood. You're famous. It's crazy. They probably look and see where all the famous people are staying at. If you don't check in, you'll get robbed. And that's only one gang, one set of the people. There's a bunch more other gangs that might still rob you. So, hey, man. But it's your boy, Big Ek News. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And I am out.